Hey guys, we're here today to talk a little bit on moving tubs.
I'm not kidding you, them tubs, I have hell moving them. So you take a 14-year-old kid or my wife or a 12-year-old boy, and I know I can't send them to do it because it's gonna take them and me.
A lot of guys say that's probably one of their biggest complaints with the product is
those tubs are heavy.
Like, these tubs are heavy.
We dropped off a full tub out here in this desert, and then I had to go pick that whole thing back up.
I used to be able to lift the world up, but I can't do it anymore.
Of course, at 75 years of age, it'd be nice if they weren't so damn heavy.
That's the toughest part for me. Like that, if we could come up with a way.
we wanted to run through today and just talk about a couple things that our guys are using out in the field. So here's what we got. The first one we have is what looks like a sled. He said it's just some metal scraps he's had around, but you want to make sure you use a 2-inch pipe on the bottom to keep the tubs high enough off the ground that they don't scrape, and then keep the sides high enough that the tubs don't fall out, but also low enough that it's not a real bugger to get the tubs in there in the first place. So looks like a great way. And actually, I was on this ranch not that long ago, and we used the side-by-side to tow some of these around, and they work good. They don't tear up the ground. He just hooks a chain up. You can attach that to your pickup, side-by-side, whatever it is, and just tows that around through the pasture. So this is a video loading some tubs onto the sled. It's from Shane Keller back when his boy was about 10. This is probably 10 years ago, but same sleds, just a lot of years later. This is it full. There's some tubs in it. I know some guys have even done it where they do 2 tubs and then a bucket of salt in there as well. So an easy way to maneuver things around. And so also on these, you can daisy chain them together where you can have like a bit of a train of tubs that you can tow around. And then you'll actually notice in the back of his pickup, he has a tire with a 125-pound tub in it. That is for his salt. So again, just a little way to store tubs when they're not blowing around, and it's easy, keeps the bulls from tipping it over, what have you. This here is, so this is an idea from one of our guys in Nebraska. It looks like he has some rubs in there to help with flies, and then they can come in and lick on the tubs as well. I don't know about anyone else, I'm not very handy, so this one looks like quite a project for me, but if you're good with a welder, it doesn't look like something that would be too complicated to move around. It's a little source for the cattle to get the flies off and come in and lick on the tubs, and keep the tubs out of the elements as well. This here is, we got some truck tires. We got the specs on these ones. I am not gonna recite them off because I can't remember them, but they will be popped up here on the screen. So you got a truck tire, sections of a conveyor belt, cut it up, and then used an eye bolt to fasten the conveyor belt piece to the truck tire so it slides along the ground nicely. And then also you can hook a chain up to the eye bolt and drag the tire around. Now these ones are a little heavy for an ATV, so what he's done in more recent times is taken a truck, like a pickup tire, and the specs will be here as well, put an eye bolt through that, and then he just cuts the top of the tire off, and then you can drop the tub in there, and the tub edges actually sit on the lip of the tire, so you can drag it around without digging into the pasture or whatever, and you don't need a conveyor belt for those ones. And same on those ones, if you do an eye bolt on the front and the back, you can chain them all together, again, for a little train if you're towing them to the next pasture. These are a couple, maybe a little bit more complicated methods, or a little bit more for the metal workers amongst us. It looks like something they hook up to a Bale-deck. The handle has a little lip on it, and it goes up under the tub lip, so it hooks on either side of the tub, and then they use the Bale-deck to pull the tub back up onto the pickup. So just 2 little handles, and then chains attached to the Bale-deck to lift her back up. This is another option too, again using the Bale-deck, fasten around the tubs, and pick them up. So again, maybe a little bit more metal working, but if you got the capabilities, great idea. And then for the non-metal workers amongst us, I'm not making fun of this particular individual, but he's hooked it up with just a ratchet strap around the tub with some chains. Using his bale spears for the back of the pickup, he just ratchet straps around, hooks a chain onto it, and picks it up. Pretty ingenious way to do it.
With my bale spike on my pickup, I can move, because sometimes when you move pastures, you're looking at moving a tub that still has 150 pounds of product in it. You're not just gonna, pick it up and go with it.
Here's a chain with a ring on the end so the chain will slip. And then tie the end of the chain to your bale arm of your pickup and lift it off.
That one's pretty self-explanatory. And that is all we have for you. If you got any other ideas, something you've used in the past, love to hear it. Different ways to lift tubs, put them in the comments here below.
You know, we load them with a skid steer and I can slide them out of the side by side and we can put them out.
That being said, in situations, a lot of guys say, you know, hey, my wife or kids can't really put out these tubs. We do have smaller tubs.
Getting a little older, I quit using the 250s just because it was hard for me to handle. I use the small ones. They're easier for me to handle. They're easier for me to move.
So 125-pound tubs, both plastic and biodegradable, as well as 60-pound tubs, plastic and biodegradable. They are a little bit more expensive per ton. However,
I figure for pennies I can save my health.
let's say you got a deal where, you know, there's a couple pastures that one of the kids looks after or something. It's no problem. If you're ordering 10 ton, we can put a couple pallets of smaller tubs on there. It is going to be a little bit more, but you don't have to order a full truckload of small tubs. You know, if you want a couple ton of it just for the convenient spots, by all means, talk to your territory manager about it when you go to put in your next order, or your dealer, and we'll make that happen for you. Thanks, guys, and hopefully this is helpful. Maybe it inspired another idea, something you hadn't thought of before to use to move some tubs around. Look forward to hearing your ideas if you got any. Thanks again.